Alright, we have a new chapter of Attack on Titan. This one is called Surprise Attack. I guess this is referring to Zeke showing up and saving Eren and the rest of Team Eren as they were fighting pretty admirably, fighting quite brutally in the last chapter, but definitely outnumbered and outgunned. So it's not too much of a surprise because they knew Zeke was gunning on meeting up with Eren, and that they knew that the restraints and the captivity they had put him in out in the forest hadn't worked. Hajne had already found the remains of the cart they were transporting him in, and Levi's mostly lifeless body. So I'm not sure necessarily who it's a surprise to. Well, I guess, though, she didn't actually report it back to the city. That's true. Probably most people in the city thought the Beast Titan was still out of commission. Meanwhile, of course, the Zeppelins from the mainland's fleet are dropping soldiers and bombs and guns, but how can they stand up to the might of the Beast Titan's projectile attack? Looks like poorly. Looks like those boulders he's flinging are cutting them up like butter. Okay. And this pretty wild shot of Yelena looking up at the flaming Zeppelins. Is she saying, "Oh, the humanity"? If so, in a very positive way, I would bet. As they go up in smoke. Zeke, we need to shoot through his nape, adjust our position. So they have the cart Titan equipped with the turret up on the wall as well. So conceivably they should be able to get a good shot at him while he's busy with his own attack. This is kind of tragic, you know, that they're reuniting under such circumstances. They used to be quite the duo, the cart Titan and the Beast Titan. The cart Titan carrying around ammunition and supplies, and the Beast Titan being the offensive force. Oh, the Beast Titan quickly changing his trajectory, the cart Titan leaping out of the way. Shoot out with the Beast Titan is a wise strategy at the moment. Not stopping, I'll shoot down these traitorous bastards. And then members of Team Eren swinging in on their 3D maneuver gear. The battle has completely 180'd. Now it's the other forces that are in the same sort of overgunned situation, really desperately trying to eke out some sort of path to victory. And here we see the Jaw Titan, who just got smashed super hard in the face by Eren in the last chapter. He was like seconds away from being able to get a devastating attack on Eren's nape, but Eren hit him with the backhand. The Armored Titan as well, lying in ruins. His top half of his face 180 or 90 degrees from the lower half, spinning around like those old Bugs Bunny cartoons. There's a sort of brutality here that applies to just everyone. Like, we saw Eren get brutalized, we saw all of Eren's enemies getting brutalized. We're seeing all of this equipment and machinery just blowing up. And I'm not sure really what we're supposed to take away from it. Like, for much of the series, this sort of action and this sort of devastation was very clearly cut either like a tragic scene, oh no, the Titans have infiltrated the wall, they're killing everyone, they're blowing up everything, or a triumphant scene. You know, the Scouting Legion is riding high. They've been able to mow down waves of Titans and save the day. Whereas here it's like, again, just this moral complexity makes it so that, I don't know, just like everyone is... you see this like violence and this wreckage, and I'm just left with this numbness, like this sense of like uncertainty. Am I happy? Am I sad to see this carnage? Just heading to Zeke. The goal is to contact with one another, just as we thought. Stop them. There's nothing we can do. Only a Titan can beat another Titan. We have our own fighting to do. So Gabby out here with the soldiers. Focus on human-on-human contact. We get Falco back from the enemy. The retreat Zeppelin is south of here. You head there. What did they say? Falco. She feels responsible for Falco being here in the first place, which is, you know, it's pretty accurate. She was the one that ran off and infiltrated the Zeppelin that the Eldians had commanded in the first place. Top of our class, and still he had to save me every time. No way I'm going to leave him behind and run off, and I'm the one who got into this mess in the first place. So we're back in the prison. Falco hanging out with the jail cell. Not really sure what's going on. They've correctly guessed that the Marleyans have attacked, that the Zeppelin fleet is here, that their main forces are attacking. But Falco is also correct that it really has very little to do with him. Feeling back home waiting for your return, don't you? So you'll have to of getting back to them. I'll never be able to see my wife and daughters again. Just one scream is equal. Turn me into a monster. So many things I want to say to my daughters. If I turn into a Titan, it would be the same as dying. Ooh, and this guy, loyal comrade of Yelena, appearing with the keys in front of the the Eldian cell here, with Mikasa and Armin and stuff. This could really, really change things if Armin gets out and he finds a place that he feels comfortable titanizing. If the Colossal Titan suddenly gets involved in all of this. And I assume that'll probably have to happen, because I see this as being the absolute ultimate showdown of all these forces. And the Colossal Titan far and away is the most iconic Titan of the series. So to have it absent from this final battle, I think is almost inconceivable. What the hell is going on out there? Marleyans are here. They're attacking from the sky with their Zeppelins. About 500 men. They brought the armored cart and Jaw Titans along too. Eren is fighting all of them by himself. Well, come on, not by himself. There's lots of Eren loyalists and the Beast Titan, but whatever. It's good enough. So I'm sure these people's reactions is about the same as mine at this point. Of just well, good, bad, unsure. So I think they're all in agreement. Yeah, as this guy Onyan Kopon is kind of suggesting. You may not agree with what Eren's doing now. You may not really be on his side, but you're certainly not on Marley's side, and you're certainly not going to want any repercussions of Marley getting the original Titan. That's for sure a bad case scenario, whereas everything else kind of falls into this more gray area. So with this stirring speech, will they go and help him after he had them jailed, after he was so cruel to them? Yeah, no. You fucking kidding me? Tratus and I think he'll just obey whatever you tell us to do. Going against Yelena meant a bullet in my brain. Since you're here to help us. It's contaminated wine and planning to take over Paradise Island. I've had enough, more than enough of betrayal. Reiner and Berthold, Annie, Eren have had enough, you piece of shit. Yeah, yeah, this is true. This is a very consistent theme of this series. A very recurring plot motif is betrayal. Is that the people you thought were your closest allies, the people that you had been through hell with, secretly had other schemes this entire time. Always had Eren's back. Eren wants to make it so our bodies can no longer have children. Is that it? So he's super pissed off about, even though Eren has now explained the entirety, the magnificence of his anti-natalistic plan. They're mad about even that. At first I thought that would be at least somewhat of an appeasement. And Armin had that scene where he was crying, and I still don't really know how to judge that scene, how to parse his sincere emotions within it. But I think at least they should be a little more sympathetic now that they know this was the end of all of this. That he hadn't switched sides or anything. He just had this completely new goal. See what he has to say, Connie. Armin, the voice of reason, pulling Connie back. Connie, who's been with them really through most of it, through pretty much all of these adventures, who's suffered quite a lot too, who kind of next to Eren, probably had one of the most intense grudges against Titans in general, after what happened in his hometown. I have no idea. So it's kind of neat that he's getting this moment, that his character is still kind of flashing out in the complexities of this plotline. Quite like it. No idea about the wine and about the merciful killing plan. Other volunteer soldiers had no idea either. Yelena told us not to tell anyone about it, especially not to the volunteer soldiers. I don't want anything to do with this merciful killing plan. All we wanted was to help develop Paradise Island and defeat Marley alongside you. So we left everything behind for what we came to this island for. We devoted ourselves to helping you. And this is quite a compelling argument, because it wouldn't really make sense for them to leave their lives of relative comfort and of modernity and such to come to Paradise Island, this extremely dangerous backwater place that has none of these luxuries, all for the plan of sterilizing the entirety of the Eldian race. Like, what does that get them, right? Obviously, their primary goal is just to depower Marley. And yeah, of course, I guess in a roundabout way, if you kind of remove the Eldians from existence, then the Marleyans have no Titan resources to exploit. Makes Marley much more weak on the geopolitical stage. But that's such like a roundabout thing. It seems much more likely that, yeah, they just came here to help modernize Paradise Island, to help it get defense ready, and the big divide being whether to just kind of maintain a peaceful defensive role or whether to actually strike on the offensive to Marley. You know, like all of these sort of dynamics account for I think the entirety of the indecisiveness and these sort of back and forth of the Yelena force. So yeah, I would believe him here, that he has no idea about the merciful killing plan. Do all that because we believed in the island's future. Children are the future. So if killing plans comes into fruition, all we've done will be rendered meaningless. Yeah. Yeah, this is quite believable. Remember that you once said, everyone, including the people of Ymir, exists because someone wishes them to. So it's more interesting if there are different kinds of people. Showing me a way. It's the complete opposite of Zeke's ideology. I'm sure you're that kind of person. So this now indicates that Armin wasn't ever really down for the merciful killing plan, right? That I don't know. Like, is he actually having his mind changed in this scene? That before he had begun to submit to this nihilistic Zeke ideology, and now he's starting to be inspired more for this prosperous, diverse future ideology? I don't know. It's hard to kind of keep track of his inner state when he's been rendered so powerless, you know? He hasn't had the action, the agency to really put any of his ideology into action in this last arc. Being in prison, being unable to Titanize. We do too, but what do we do now? If we help Eren and Zeke, aren't we also helping execute the merciful killing plan? We will stop the plan. If those two fall into enemies' hands, we will no longer protect Eren. Okay. What should we do? We have to show the power of the earth-flattening weapon to the world at least once. So, yeah, they're basically at this point where they can't let Eren and Zeke live, because then they'll enact the merciful killing plan. Okay. But then they can't let Eren and Zeke die, because then Paradise Island has no trump card, and it'll just be overrun by the rest of the world. Okay, so the plan is then to demonstrate the power of the earth-flattening weapon, such that even after Eren and Zeke are rendered powerless, they're kept apart for whatever, that through whatever means their merciful killing plan is neutralized, people will remember the power of the earth-flattening weapon and still not mess with Paradise Island. Something like that. Setting up that sort of bluffing structure. Casa, what would you like to do? Do you want to go out there and help Eren? I do, but like Eren said, this is probably because, the Ackerman function, the Ackerman defense function. Ackerman, this isn't my own true will. It's a lie Eren made up. It's true I have headaches sometimes. Why do you think it's a lie? I mean, why? You all actually think that Eren really wants the entire people of Eldia not to be able to have children anymore. Oh, okay. So, when Yelena was first telling everyone about the plan, I guess Armin from that moment, really doubted that that was actually Aaron's intent. And then the reason he was crying and saying, it's so beautiful, like, I didn't realize your intentions were so beautiful, or whatever he was saying exactly, was because he had somehow extrapolated from this what he believes to be Aaron's true plan, I guess, okay? And now, not only that, like, he recognized the true plan, and then with, like, relief, he realized why Aaron had been acting this way, why he had been so cruel to him and Mikasa, why he had said all of this stuff about the Ackerman loss of will and stuff. So Aaron has some other plan, and I believe Armin here. I think this must be the actual direction of the story. I really don't think they would be like, well, haha, Armin was wrong. So there's yet another plan in the works that doesn't involve Zeke's merciful killing option, and speaks maybe more to the Aaron philosophy of just like freedom at all costs. It's true that it's not like him to want something like that, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. It is impossible. We're talking about Aaron. Isn't exactly going against Zeke and Yelena, is he? It's because he doesn't have to. In the end, how the original powers, Titan powers is used is up to Aaron, not up to them. Okay, that's true. Like, he has to touch Zeke for it to trigger, but then it's really up to him, like, what command he gives the bodies of Eldia. Zeke can't, like, he can tell him what to do, but he doesn't necessarily have to do it. However, from Yelena, he had no other choice to act the way he did. No idea how Yelena would react if he refused, or what she might do next. Pretend to go along with it, and act as if he was on her side. He would use the earth-flattening weapon and protect this island. Okay, so that's Aaron's plan, I guess? Is feeding in with, oh boy, that person? Where you demonstrate the power of the earth-flattening weapon to allow Paradise Island to remain in peace. Something like that. The United Nations joint army comes to join up the Marleyan army. That's when he's going to activate the weapon. To deploy the few hundred Titans around the Shigan Shina district, just as we originally planned. So this are the world's strongest armies. No one will dare lay a hand on Paradise Island for another 50 years at least. Okay. I mean, I think this is going to go ahead, and it's more for kind of metatextual reasons. Like, we've been talking about these Titans within the walls for years and years and years now, since like the pretty early volumes of the series. Ever since Annie turned into the Beast Titan and knocked a hole in the wall, and we saw the Titan's face, right? Because that's when we learned about crystallization and all of that stuff too. And given that, like, do you really think the series could possibly end without showing the Wall Titans coming out and doing some damage? To me, it seems no. It seems quite unlikely that they wouldn't give us that. So now I'm starting to think, even though it goes against our holy rule of when a plan is described, it won't happen, I'm kind of thinking that Armin is onto it here. Okay. Just a little longer. We said that guy was dangerous ever since we were in the training corps. He'll lead us all to hell, that asshole. This is Jean, right? Yeah, Jean has always hated Aaron. But in this final moment, will he be able to believe in him? Jealous of that bastard because he was cool. And I mean, I kind of like this, because it's like, we always knew that. We always knew that Jean had like a thing for Mikasa, jealous of Aaron's whole relationship with her, jealous of how suave he is and how cool he is, and wow, he gets his Aaron's own Titan too, like, oh my lord. So to kind of have that so explicitly stated this late into the series, it's like very nostalgic, you know? It kind of feels like his whole character kind of just like finally turns this corner. It's finally being said. It's not like a twist, it's not a revelation, but it has a nice sense of finality to it that I like. He was annoying as fuck, thanks Megastream, but I still wouldn't want him to die. If he dies now, I won't get to punch his stupid face. Let's go release all the soldiers from the cells. Bra's family, these poor peasants that got totally taken up and along in this ride with the whole orphanage and restaurant visit. These poor people. These poor people. And of course, they're Sasha's parents as well. Very sad. Even if Eren really is hiding his true intentions, why would he push us away too? Saying that he hates me. Why would Eren say something like that? So Armin thinks back to the day that they finally saw the ocean. Something that Eren said that day. Is this dialogue that we were privy to at the time? I don't know. No way. Eren and I have known for years now, but your head hurting from time to time. Probably used that to make his lie more believable. Did truly force himself to tell that lie? So he's still very hesitant. he still doesn't believe at all in the whole Ackerman loyalty thing. And I don't know. I kind of think here Armin is lying. He's trying to motivate Mikasa by saying, oh, that was a lie. But just looking at his facial expressions here, it kind of makes me think that he maybe does privately believe it. And again, on kind of a metatextual level, it doesn't really make much sense for them to introduce this as a plot point, to cite examples of it throughout the series, so that you're like, whoa, it's like a twist. You know, it's like one of those, in retrospect, this explains so much sort of twists, with all the different Ackermans we've seen, Kenny and Levy and stuff. And then to later, after all of that, and after giving an example at the time, too, of Mikasa protecting Eren from Armin, be like, nah, just kidding. That was just a lie to drive away Armin and Mikasa. Because he didn't want them to go against him? So he'd rather them go against him? I'm not sure if I get it still. He didn't want them to be in danger by trying to help him because he knew this was such like a suicidal gambit to go up against the forces of Marley and Paradise Island. Maybe? And because he knew that they had this undying sense of loyalty, he had to come up with this lie. Like, that's actually kind of cool. Like, I'm not going to be mad or anything if they're just like, haha, it was a lie. But I'm definitely going to be surprised. Okay, alright. Mikasa giving the tiniest yeah as they head out to the battle. Controller of the Jaeger faction. Can't just do it over here. Die to stop us? Okay. So now, finally, the Paradise Island loyalists and the Jaeger faction have reunited once more, freeing all the prisoners. Oh, poor Captain Shadis. I wrestled with a bear, don't worry about me. So that was, of course, the captain in that really brutal scene. They made all of the defecting recruits beat up to prove their loyalty. And here, this is a cute little, well, cute is maybe the wrong word, but it's a nice little scene that in this moment, he like recognizes what's happening. Even if he doesn't understand why, he knows that everyone is teaming up again. And so in order to facilitate that, in order to not cause any more soldier-on-soldier violence, he's just saying, yeah, no, I wrestled with a bear. Pixis is back. Still got my wits, yes. Okay, had a bit too much to drink. Limited number of 3D gear. So that a black armband will give him priority to equip them. Those who got caught up in the enemy's plane and drank the wine come with me. The front lines and fight the invaders. So knowing that Zeke can titanize them at any moment, they've decided, I guess, to basically just... excuse me. Dehumanize themselves and turn to face the bloodshed, to quote the great Dilbert 1 cartoon by C. Boyardee. Willing to put themselves on the front line, even if it means that they lose their humanity forever. Glad that we're on the same side and get to fight together again. Mikasa with another extremely tiny yeah. Leaving your scarf behind. Leaving it behind. She's pretty emotionally empty right now. Yelena, just chilling on the ramparts. Looks over to see 4 extremely pissed off people that she knows want her dead. People that were some of the major thorn in her sides in her whole rebellion. Armed, all of them armed and out of jail. And she's just like, meh. I think in that moment she had calculated exactly what had happened and realized that they weren't going to hurt her. Meanwhile, she's busy watching her Hindenburg. Oops. I meant to scroll down and I pressed forward. I didn't really see anything. The Zeppelin flying off near to the wall and crashing. The Shiganshina gate is blocked. Hey, remember when you were just trying to do that like all the time? Like that was like all you wanted was to block that gate, and you had to have Eren carry a big heavy stone and now it's blocked again because a Zeppelin crashed in front of it. Crazy. The moment that would change history will soon be upon us. The Armored Titan getting up once again, chasing after Eren as he, almost in a daze, having been shot in the head so many times, I guess, makes his way towards Zeke. But look at that covering fire. The Beast Titan is actually crazy strong. I wonder what Mr. Xavier, you know, Zeke's adoptive father, who taught him to play catch, would think of this. His nice baseball pitch being turned into a barrage of deadly stones. Does he even need our help? Why? Does he even need our help? Why is Zeke here? Captain Levi would never let him go free. What happened to him in Hongdae? Hongdae. It's the only reasonable to assume that Zeke had killed him. Now Zeke has come to the agreed upon place at the agreed upon time. Yeah, and Yelena's still kind of smug. She seems pretty confident that they're not just gonna like kill her. But like, when you think about it, when you think about how Mikasa and them were convinced to go and fight and to help Eren, they have no need for Yelena. There was no part of that plan that was like, oh, we should support Yelena too. I'm actually surprised that Connie hasn't just like capped her. Like, all right, that takes care of that. Fortunately, there was no helping it. It had to be done so Zeke and Eren can save the world. Join the Jaeger faction and help them come into contact too. So Armin here, bluffing super hard. I guess they still kind of need Yelena's support, because the other Jaeger faction people would probably turn on them and they would go back to infighting. Even though they don't really know why they're supporting Yelena, like they don't know about the merciful extinction plan. Oh, holy crap. This is a pretty spooky scene. This is I don't know. This and the scene where the captain is like, "Don't worry about me, I fought a bear." These are the scenes that like, oh, we're such into plot mode now. Where like so much stuff is happening, so many battles, so many like climaxes and such. It's like I need these sorts of scenes in order for it to kind of retain the character and the continuing feeling of the character that the entire series has had. The weird faces, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them weird faces. So Armin is terrified, but it seems like his little bluff here has worked. And they all jump off the roof to go support Eren. The Zeppelin's dropping out of the skies. What's this metal pipe thing? Anti-Titan rifle. Very hard to kill a Titan if you don't hit it well and straighten the nape. Oh, man. So Gabi, of course, still motivated to just kill herself and Eren. And they're introducing this Titan rifle that it's like, oh, if you have a good enough shot. And we know Gabi has quite the shot. Okay. Falco. Long last, the reuniting. It's my brother. So she has to kill that soul. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, well, you can see what'll happen here. Prisoner of war in one of the houses. I'll be right back. Oh. So, in an act of quick thinking and empathy, these two soldiers from opposite sides have actually broken the cycle of violence. Or like, how many times have we had some violent act take place that was fostered by some other violent act, so on and so forth. And I thought it was going to happen again. I was like, all right, here we go. This is going to be the big emotional gut punch of the chapter. That these two great friends are going to be shooting at each other in the street. But no. Go on home now. So he releases Falco, so we can reunite with Gabi. Nice. Why did you trust an enemy soldier? See, and it shows, and it's Gabi's growth too. Before, she would have been so trigger happy, that guy would have been dead. Probably Falco somehow would have died. she's crazy. But now, she trusted an enemy soldier in the moment. She knew. And this is the family that took them in, the family that helped them. They're trying to put them somewhere safe. The Braun family. What will Gabi do here? This guy was just choking her. What, like, probably like a week ago? Hardy, those two. I'm sure they're fine. So Mia and Ben, of course, what they think the names of Falco and Gabi are, right? I'm worried about her. She killed Sasha. Never forgive her. I'd kill her if I could. And this, of course, is the girl that she was closest to. So Gabi crying, but realizing, like, well, you're not going to kill me, and I'm not going to kill you. This is nice. It's brutal, but it's better than the alternative. It's better than so many other alternatives. So, no devils on this island. There are only people. Finally, I understand how Reiner feels. We just convinced ourselves that people we never saw are all devils. So this is a very, very positive, empathetic, humanizing statement. And it's delivered in this moment of kind of miraculous peace and of deep character growth. And so for the first time in quite a while, I can say that this is a statement that the series is uncontestedly making in the positive, I think. I felt very confident. Then right after I said it, I was like, oh, who knows? Maybe next chapter Gabi's going to learn the reality that things aren't so simple and people aren't so nice and blah, 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 blah. But for just a second, I'm like, yeah. If the one of the major messages of Attack on Titan turns out to be don't dehumanize unknown peoples, that everyone everywhere in the world is deep down pretty much like you and wants basically the same things as you, that's a nice message. That's one I can definitely get behind. Went on that Zeppelin and just kept on doing the same thing over and over again. Right? This cycle of violence. This has been such a major theme of the series. I think it's so key that they broke it here. And that they set it up with the same sort of kind of tragic incident that you think, like, oh god, it's going to happen again. But no. Sorry, Falco. You understood it. Still, I got you involved in my mess. And we see the black armband. This, of course, signifying that he has ingested the spinal fluid of Zeke and the wine, meaning that with one scream, he'll be a mindless Titan for the rest of his existence. Didn't know it was him, thought it was just a wounded soldier. Didn't know it was planning on attacking Rebellio either. Sent his letters out to his comrades using the post office from outside the ghetto. In a way, all the people in Rebellio are dead because of me. My fault that Udo and Sophia are dead too. And Gabi, crushed by this. I guess he had never told her. We've known this, of course, for a long time, and how it's kind of haunted Falco, but in the end, Gabi's just like, oh, alright, we having a little teen romance action? Psh, why not? Let's give us all the genres now. I'm a Warrior Squad candidate because I didn't want you to take over the Armor Titan's power. Because I wanted you to marry me and have a long and happy life. I could turn into a Titan soon, so I did not want anything left unsaid. Ah. Alright. This is nice. This is the sort of humanity that I really think, as I said, the character of the series needs to be maintained through moments like this. It can't just all be action and politics. It's about these people. So Gabby rips off the black bandana, somehow thinking that will stop him from turning into a Titan. Maybe she didn't really understand this whole line thing. But no, it's a symbolic gesture. Of course it's a symbolic gesture. And it mirrors very much the armbands that they had to wear in the ghetto, right? To signify that they're Eldians, making them the target of derision from every Marleyan. Gabby is rejecting all of these systems and anything that dehumanizes and underclasses people. Let Zeke know you've drunk the spinal fluid. We might be able to stop the scream. Oh. Yeah, because Zeke is pretty fond of Falco, I think. They were all buds back in the day. No, I used too many of them. Can't get close enough to Eren. So they've got big suppressing fire from the Marleyan forces on the roof. Trying to figure out what they can do to help Eren. The Jaw Titan back up in action. But just plow down! The Beast Titan is like 100% MVP here. Look at that sniping action. Eren soon. Just a little while, our dream will finally come true. Just a little longer. The Cart Titan, although basically just a corpse, has flopped up on the wall again. Been taken down, little Kick. And in the moment, he has a little bit of sentimentality. But this is the thing with Zeke's ideology, right? And this is why I think it's actually like very well constructed. And one of my favorite kind of revelations of this narrative is that he's like, every bit of violence he sees, every tragedy like this, every moment of sentimentality, of heartbreaking, thinking back to his loyal partner, poor Pieck, in her Cart Titan, every single thing like that just contributes further to his resolution, to his feeling that we should just not be here. We should just bow out of all of this suffering in the first place. So I like that. I really think that this is one of the only sensible ideologies left in this world. And it's one of the few that can kind of withstand and strengthen through all of these tragic incidents. And I mean, me calling the Beast, the Cart Titan being taken down a tragedy, seems like I'm now kind of weighing in on one side or the other, and that I'm taking a very controversial pro-Marley take. But it's not about that. It's just about the humans, of course. It's because I've become fond of Pieck as a character. You know, as expected of poor Miss Pieck. she in the end really made me sympathetic. Oh no! Never mind. She tricked you all. She's even cooler than that. Never mind. Never mind at all. She popped up, de-titanified, and then in the mist and steam, starts picking people off. Only shot to get them by surprise and make it count. The turret operational as well. One shot. General Magath, who of course was there in Lebedio when he saw so many of his comrades die, blows the heck out of Zeke's shoulder. So close to the nape that even Zeke's internal body is badly hit. And this will, I'm thinking, at the very least disable his suppressive fire for a little while, right? Like, that option is now kind of off the table. It's kind of fair game now again to attack Eren without just getting hit by Rock Slide. Super critical. Alright, she did it. That was a nice shot. Yelena shocked. Everyone in shock. Not really sure how bad the damage is yet. Oh my gosh. And the Beast Titan flopping off of the wall. Reiner and the Jaw Titan guy watching it happen. Did you kill him? Can't get a good shot. Move now. If he's got any life in him, he'll use the screen. Right? Makes sense. Just trying to cause all sorts of chaos, trying to keep himself safe by titanizing like a good chunk of the entire city. So falling off the wall probably was a lifesaver in this case, because if he remained up there, they would have had another easy shot right at his nape. But since he fell off, it's such a shallow angle, right, to shoot from the wall. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to finish him off. Okay, I'm really impressed with how they can kind of bring forward this like one simple point of urgency, you know? They've done this a few times in this gigantic battle, and it's great. It kind of cuts through all of the chaos, all of the many different factions, to like, all right, this person's trying to do this, this person's going to try to do this. Will it happen? Yes, no. You know, it all can come down to this one critical moment that we can all really hang on, rather than something that has much more complex ramifications and is the result of many more actors. At any rate, it ends with Gabby and Falco blushing at each other as they run to try to contact Zeke, and Falco's older brother being like, "Yeah, boy, yeah." He looks so proud of his younger brother. You just saw him confess. He's feeling pretty good about the whole thing, even though probably they're all gonna die. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens in the next one. We're getting pretty close to the end, I think. I'm gonna guess there's only like 5 or 6 chapters left, based on I believe the next volume, not the one that chapters are currently going to be published in, but there's going to be like one more complete volume, and I think it's probably going to be like 5 chapters, depending on how long they are. So we're getting close to the end, probably by the end of the year. But it's been a good run. I've certainly been pretty impressed with it overall. So, yeah, please join me for the next one.